So good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome to you this evening the lovely Lindsay Percival. So good evening, Lindsay.
Hi, Chris. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So Lindsay has visited our church once before, I believe, isn't it, Lindsay? You came to do a drumming session for us last time.
That's right.
And we are so glad. Obviously, Lindsay couldn't come last year because of personal reasons and things. So we are glad to be able to welcome Lindsay to come back again this year. Yes, get in there.
Right. Yeah.
So would you like to introduce yourself a little bit, Lindsay, to the people online so they know who you are and where you're from and things?
Yeah. So I am a medium and a healer. I'm also a psychotherapist, which is similar to a counsellor, but working very much in the realm of mental health, people with PTSD, dissociative disorders, anxiety, depression, trauma, that sort of area. So very much my work encompasses psychology, psychological approaches, and spiritual approaches too.
Wow. That's quite an interesting point that you make there about your psychology venture, because something we're looking at doing at the moment for a bit of mental health, to help people and that at the moment is we're actually looking at doing a coffee morning and things.
Absolutely.
On a fortnightly basis. Yeah. So, it's intriguing how it can all link in together, to help people and things, which is really good. So obviously you've been a medium. So how long have you been working as a medium for, roughly? Can you think, or am I making you think?
I guess consciously working with my mediumship. I guess it began with healing, and I still consider it to be part of a healing practice. And that started really in 2006.
Wow. So you've been going a long time then.
Yeah, a long time, but it's a never-ending journey, and it's not about the amount of years. We're always unfolding and discovering different aspects of ourselves.
We are, and I think that's one of the things. People think once you're a medium, you've learned everything, and that just isn't the case at all. I don't think, because you're right, we do learn things all of the time, and it's just you get mind blown by it, because you think that you've got yourself where you want to be, and then all of a sudden it all changes yet again.
Right,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
It all changes, and you never know when that moment of transition is coming. It's unexpected, it's unpredictable, but that's part of our journey, isn't it, Chris?
yeah, it is. It is. And would you explain to us a little bit like how you got into spiritualism as well? How did it start off for you to begin with?
Yeah, an unexpected journey too. I was living abroad for many years. I was a journalist in my first career, and I traveled a lot in Eastern and Central Europe and in Russia. And I suppose really it was through bereavement, through the grief of losing my grandmother, who was like a mother to me, and losing my mum at a young age. She was 55 when she passed to spirit, but being very aware that they were still present and with me, and that it seemed a very natural thing to have a conversation.
Yeah,
And I couldn't explain it as, part of grief. Yes,
mm,
certainly, but there was a tangible felt presence when I knew, my mum was in the room with me.
yeah.
So, spirit has a way of showing you in a very visceral way, that life goes on. There is life after life.
And that is it exactly. I think I can completely relate to that, because my journey was quite similar to that as well. It was my grandparents, then losing my dad, and it just does it. You find your niche, don't you, and things where you want to be. And obviously, my journey was the same as yours, getting to spiritualism. It's a lovely journey to go on and things. And I'm sure as we get onto this workshop shortly, we will find out more why it will be.
Yeah,
But I'm just going to ask you. I know you've ran the Sunflower Centre in the past, and you were running that
that's,
on Zoom as well, weren't you?
that's
During
right.
lockdown
And
and
yeah,
things. And you were doing all sorts on there. You were doing services and all different things, healing and drumming and all different aspects of things. But is it that you're just independent in yourself, like the churches, or are you affiliated to anyone, or do you attend any regular churches or anywhere like that?
yeah, so Sunflower Spiritual Foundation was very much something that came about as a collective, a group of us that were involved. And during the pandemic, where we went online, I think during the second week of the pandemic, we did a healing circle, and we eventually went on to do a healing service. And that seemed to me the right thing to do. It's
Yeah,
what we could offer. And that's how I met you, Chris. I would never
you
have
do.
known about Norton Church had I not served your church, first of all, on Zoom. um, but at the moment I'm working on my own, so I'm not part of an organization. I'm working independently. I've moved house. I've now live in the New Forest, which is the most incredible part of the world, in between Bournemouth and Southampton, on the coast. And really, what I want to do here is look at mediumship as a spiritual pathway, and with the idea to be running spiritual retreats and creating that opportunity really for people to understand more about themselves, not
Yeah,
just how do we connect to the spirit world. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, the New Forest sounds like it's a lovely place. I might even have to book a trip down
You
there
you might,
somewhere and
Chris. You'd be very welcome.
come and have a little wander around with the dog. I'm sure it
Yeah,
would have fun down there, especially if there's forests
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
So we'll get down to the nitty gritty then about this workshop, because this is what everyone's waiting for. So Lindsay is going to be offering us her service as a medium, healer, and spiritual teacher, working with the soul power. So, would you like to explain to people what this workshop is going to entail?
Yes, Chris. So to me, We speak a lot, especially when we're developing as mediums and as healers. We do an exercise called sitting in the power, which is about expanding our awareness, our consciousness, and learning how we connect with those in the spirit world, our loved ones, our guides, healers and teachers. But, you know, there's also a very personal journey about the unfoldment of our own soul. And I think that sometimes we get carried away with what are these techniques? How do we do it? How do we get better mediums? How do we become better healers? But to me, it's about looking at your own soul, looking inside yourself. It's a journey to yourself. And through that, I think really it's about personal development. And although we speak a lot about it, there's not often an opportunity to do that. And that's very much what I wanted to provide for people. So a way of looking at what is the journey of your own soul? What does that mean? What gives you joy? What gives the feeling of a connection to, you know, God of our understanding? How do we do it? Not just sitting in the power in that sense. Do you see what I mean? So that's really what it's about. What is our soul power?
And I think that's one of the things as well, when we're aiming to work and things as well, it is about being able to connect with yourself as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, as good as we can practice it, it's always good to get brushed up on the skills, because we can always learn more from learning from ourselves as well, which is really, really good. So I'm going to assume the workshop's going to be based from anyone from a beginner stage, so it could be anyone who's in an awareness class right through to an advanced stage. I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's it, Chris. I wanted it really to have a general appeal, and even for people who are not necessarily considering, am I a healer? Am I a medium? Do I want to do trance? Whatever it is that I'm drawn to in that moment. Really, it's an opportunity to bring some of my knowledge about psychology and personal transformation and that together with looking at our spiritual pathway and maybe finding from it some clarity for ourselves in a very practical way. Yeah, that's really what this workshop aims to do. So yeah, a broad appeal.
I love StreamYard for this.
Yeah.
Dawn Elizabeth, can you attend even not if you're not even a beginner? Answer is
That's
yes.
exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm saying. You don't even have to be sitting in any type of circle. It really is about understanding yourself and creating that solid foundation on which you can build upon, because I feel that that's what's often missing, you know, as we head off on this journey. Yeah, so yes, you can, in answer, Dawn.
And you know, funny you say that. I was actually saying the other day, do you know what? I would love to go and sit back in an awareness class.
Yeah.
Because you forget you forget the beginning bits at times as well.
Yeah.
You know, and like you say, that you don't have to be in a class to do something like this. You can just, you can learn things, and this is the whole idea of these workshops as well, really, is able to introduce people to things.
It is, Chris. And sometimes I think it's about unlearning and getting back to that sense of, well, if I'm in touch with myself, if I can connect to that sense of love of self and love of others, then I can connect to that energy of the spirit world, which is all about love. And often we have so many blockages within ourselves that really, it's our ongoing work to heal, isn't it? So that's why I think that this can appeal really to anybody who has an interest in spirituality and in psychology.
That is right, yeah. So we'll move on to the next question is, so what will the attendees be doing on the day? Obviously, I'm guessing they're going to be doing lots of exercises and things like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to give them a brief overview of maybe what you might cover.
Yeah, so one of the things that I'd like to invite people to look at is the language of love that they've been brought up with, because in our family homes, in our environment, wherever we started off when we began on this journey of life, we all received messages about what love is. And if we understand that spiritual love is an unconditional love, that it doesn't judge and that it encompasses everybody, no matter, what their pathway has been in life. In our childhood homes, sometimes what we receive is conditional love. And what I mean by that is, I will love you if you go to school. I will love you if you're a good boy, good girl.
Yeah.
I will love you if you conform to what it is that I want you to do in life. Because as a psychotherapist, quite often what I see with people is really their struggle has been that they've not been able to follow their soul's calling. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So one of that ways of looking at it through discussion in a bigger group, maybe exercises breaking into pairs or into smaller groups, that's one of the things that we'll be looking at so we can understand what love is.
Yeah. And I think this is one of the key things I always say, even to the classes when we're promoting these and things, and the people in churches. It is a workshop, so be prepared to work.
Absolutely. That's a key thing. Yeah, but don't come if you're not prepared to be able to look at yourself, because we all have aspects of ourselves that we're less comfortable with. We have aspects of things that we've done in the past that we'd prefer to forget about, but actually our spiritual journey is about bringing that all together, to be who we truly are, warts and all. That's what I believe.
Yeah, brilliant. So, for the attendees, is there anything, obviously apart from their packed lunch, that you would like them to bring on the day, or anything?
I mean, I think it's always good to wear comfortable clothes. It's always good to bring along a journal in case your notebook, in case you want to write things down. But I think really it's to come exactly as you said there, with this attitude, a workshop is about working. And there might be moments in it that are uncomfortable, but in a safely held environment, I think that from it we can gain some deeper insights into ourselves that will help us with whatever pathway our journey is from there.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting thing. It's just about coming and being yourself.
It
And
is.
just enjoying the day, basically, isn't it?
Absolutely. And why would we do it if we don't enjoy it? I mean, I'm sure there'll be plenty of laughter and humour there too. So, I hope it'll be a sense of fun and a sense of creativity, because creativity is really what brings us to life, isn't it? When we can express ourselves creatively. So I have some exercises around that too.
Oh, so years ago to be working, definitely. And I
Yeah.
can vouch for this because I've done one of Lindsay's workshops when we've done the drumming workshop, and I can vouch for it. It's very informative, the workshops that Lindsay does. So it is well and truly worth coming along to and enjoying a lovely day with a lovely soul, because it is lovely energy that Lindsay works with. So you're in for a treat with this one. You really are. So just to finish off with then, so obviously the attendees have done the workshop for the day. What would your expectations of what they've learned for the day from the workshop be as they've finished their day with you?
Absolutely. I mean, let me say by saying what it won't be is an exercises to improve your mediumship. That's not what it's about. So please don't come with the expectation that that's what you're going to gain from it. What you're actually going to gain is a greater sense of yourself, self-awareness, an understanding of maybe aspects of your life and what you do where you've got blockages, things that you can work through maybe with some other help further on. But I think by the end of it, it's really that sense of clarity and a sense of confidence that maybe is like, well, I know what I don't want to do now, and I maybe know more about what I do want to do. So I think clarity is what in some sense we're all seeking, isn't it? Because as you said at the very beginning, there are so many transitions during this pathway. It's not we suddenly decide boom and then we're there and then we're a finished product. We're always unfolding in our soul's growth.
And I love the way you just finished off with that there. It's about finding your journey, because we get asked so many times, what do we do? Where do we go?
Yeah,
What should we do? And not everyone wants to be a medium. And
absolutely. Yeah,
it's fine that people don't want to be a medium. That is
yeah,
absolutely fine. But then you start saying to them, well, what are you interested in? And it goes back to the conversation of, I don't know. Because
yeah,
everyone does that. So this workshop is really a good tool for people to find where they want their niches to be
yeah,
going forward. Whether
yeah.
whether it's going to be I don't know, for an example, a healer or a medium or a psychic, or this is the avenue where they can explore what they want to be at the end of it, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and my sense of that, Chris, is, people say, what is it I'm meant to be doing? And in reality, I feel that is you sitting with yourself, with the knowledge of yourself, and having the ability also to be able to answer your own questions. And I'm just reminded of some wonderful words from Silver Birch. And there's a lovely passage in his book about questions and answers, the guide of Maurice Barbanel, going back in history of spiritualism. And Silver Birch says, who are you? Do you know?
Right.
And I think that's our quest, really. Never mind about what we know about the spirit world or think we know. How well, Chris, do we know ourselves?
Yeah. So I think they're in for a very big treat with this one, and it's something completely different yet again. So we have the workshop happening on Saturday, the 6th of July, 2024. The class will start at 10 a.m. and it'll go on till approximately about 4 p.m. It might go a little bit over, it might finish a little bit earlier. See how the day goes. We don't know. Doors will open at 9:30 on the morning, so everyone is welcome to come in from 9:30. I would suggest you come in nice and early, get yourselves settled, get yourselves a nice cup of tea, get to know each other, get to know Lindsay, because I'm sure you'll have a great day. And we're charging this course at £20 for a member, £25 for a non-member, and it's a £10 non-refundable deposit, which will secure your place. Now, to book onto the course, all that we ask is that you contact the church either via Facebook, and we can arrange to do online payment. Please do not let anyone come to you, though, and message you asking you for money, because we will not approach you and ask you for money. We will send you instructions once you have initiated the conversation with us. So if you are contacted by someone pretending to be the church, please do not give them your details, because it will not be us asking for it unless you've initiated the conversation. And we can, as I say, we can do that either via online payment, or we can do that via in church, in person. So the choice is yours. Contact us on Facebook. If I know Lindsay's sharing this on her pages as well, so if there's anyone interested that Lindsay knows, you can either go through Lindsay, who can pass the details on to myself, or you can contact us directly via our church Facebook page. So I think we have covered everything, haven't we, Lindsay? I hope we have, unless there's
I doubt
anything.
it, but at least we've got an introduction.
We have. So, I'm just looking at the comments here quickly before we finish as well. And Kaz Dunn's just put, I love that I've restarted again in the awareness class.
Fantastic.
And brilliant. And she's also said, it sounds amazing. So we're getting some positive feedback there, which is absolutely great. So from myself, I would like to say thank you to everyone for watching. Please like and share the post, because the more you like it and share it, the more it gets out there. I'd also like to say thank you very much for Lindsay for taking the time to come online and explain everything, because without you, Lindsay, it wouldn't be going ahead. And also, it's a great thing for people to come and practice with, really, I would say. So I think from both myself and Lindsay, I'll let Lindsay say goodbye for herself, but thank you very much for myself.
Yes, thank you very much, Chris, for the invitation. I'm very excited about this workshop, and I really look forward to seeing you and your lovely church. I'm very excited about that, so thank you.
And we'll look forward to seeing you soon. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope this is informative for you. Any questions, please get in touch with us, and I will go back to Lindsay and I'll ask further questions if we need to. But please get in touch, get yourselves booked on, because you'll have a great day with this. And I'll say thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and good evening.